Hi everyone, it's Blaine here and welcome to my latest video. This was actually a request from Amorous Leve to present all of the current RTO and crew pilots. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. If you want to read the full bios for each of these pilots, just visit the Rogue War website. Jamie has put them all on there and they are really detailed, well worth a read. However, below the video in the text, I will also list all of the unique effects, but not the skill names that each pilot has. I'm afraid there is one pilot missing, Daz. I accidentally fired him early on before deciding to gather everything needed for this video. I will, however, still cover his skills. Be aware, many of these RTO pilots are extremely expensive to maintain, with some having very costly but very powerful skills in battle. So let's start with Bearing. This guy is the former Khan of Clan Staradder. Bearing has a unique ability, Rogue Bot Maker. Try saying that fast. This gives him a +2 Mechtech and reduces the upkeep cost of Mechbay upgrades by 5%. Plus it makes him a little bit of a thief. If we move on to Blaine, I think I've heard of this guy before. Yep, this is my RTO. Okay, he is known to dabble in technology, loves unique items, and the most expensive pilot you can hire. Formerly, Blaine was a Jarnfolk blitzer with Figgin and Jarl, and then led the world of Blake. My RTO's pilot's unique skill is Salvage Seeker. This awards you with 2 extra random salvage per mission that you drop with Blaine, but it also makes Blaine the most expensive pilot out there, adding 450,000 Cbills to his monthly salary. Yep, that's right, 450,000 extra. I might be biased, but this RTO can make you a lot of extra Cbills in the late game. However, if you have him in your early lance, he'll rapidly make you go broke, so wait until later to hire him. Okay, we're moving on to Braver. So, Braver was the Clan Diamond Shark's most prestigious Khan. This guy comes with 2 specials. Little Khan of the Ill Khan of the Ill Clan. Little Khan of the Little Clan. And also Market Master. Now, Little Khan of the Little Khan does appear on a couple of other, or at least, I think 2 other of the RTOs, so bear that in mind. I'm not going to repeat what it does. But what this does, it gives him -1 recoil and +2 OP accuracy, offensive push accuracy. As for Master Market, this actually gives him -2 recoil and -10 stability damage taken, so pretty useful. Captain Jack. What can we say about Captain Jack? Well, he's quite possibly the best pirate of modern times, and also the inventor of the pirate Wi-Fi to hack into the local Comstuff HPG networks. His skill is a true double-edged sword, however. Pirate Wi-Fi gives him a +2 local ECM, great in combat, but it gives him an 80% chance to steal 8,000 Cbills from you every single day, but at the same time a 1% chance to steal 1 million Cbills for you. Okay, on average this guy will make you a big profit, it's just it might be a long time coming. Cargo Vroom. You notice this guy has got one of the gold crew symbols, so he is one of the first 6 of the crew that has got their own designated pilot. So what can we say about Cargo? Well, Cargo, he is the master of vehicles. He has 3 unique skills: Ferret Master, JSON Monkey, and RT Crew. Now, RT Crew will appear on all 6 of the RogueTech crew pilots, while JSON Monkey I think is on at least 2 of them. So, Ferret Master first of all, what does that do? This allows you to drop a ferret tank into battle once per mission. It also greatly increases his upkeep by 200%. And I just have to add, dropping the ferret in battle is not cheap. JSON Monkey, on the other hand, this gives him -5 heat generated, plus 0.5 Mechtech, and he entrenches after walking. It would help if I hovered over it, there we go. Whereas RogueTech Crew, as I was saying, this is on all of them, as you can imagine, yeah, this gives him the potential to either nerf or buff you, in this case for 2,500 Cbills. So let's scroll down to the next group of pilots. And we're going to start off with Casparamaris. What could we say about Casper? Amaris is an ancient drone. I mean, like, really ancient. Hundreds of years old, potentially. Even older, who knows? From the heyday of the Star Leagues. His unique skill is the Golden Bib Armor, What an unusual name. However, it makes him immortal, so he is perfect for those dangerous suicide missions. You just can't get rid of him. Literally, he won't die. I mean, you can fire him. So, Karine. What has Karine got? Along with her peers, Corrine is infamous for forming the ill-fated 3rd Star League. Her unique abilities are indeed the 3rd Star League founder, of which you'll see there are a few of these, and also Can't Find Me. The first skill, this gives her +3 resolve generation, +1 morale, and +1 initiative. The second skill, Can't Find Me, gives her -25 signature and visibility, a +1 local ECM, but does reduce her evasion by -1 and -1 maximum evasion. Still, she's a very useful sneaky pilot, especially if you put her in a stealth mech. Dark Khaos, he's our next one. Now Dark Khaos, he is both crew and also an RTO, as you know. So, what is Dark Khaos is one of Clan Ghostbear's longest serving Khans, earning the title at a young age. He is a true specialist with DNIs, direct neural interfaces, and he has the unique skill EI Master, giving him the ace piloting skill, +1 gunnery, +1 accuracy, +1 piloting, and +1 evasion when he's piloting a mech with an EI or DNI system. I mean, honestly, if you have got a mech that you want to be the absolute top that's got a direct neural interface, Dark Khaos is your guy. Okay, the next one I can't click on because it's Daz. Unfortunately, as I said, I did fire him. Oops, I wish I hadn't, because he's actually pretty good because his skills have been updated. So, what can we say about Daz? He was pretty much alone running House Marik's defense and got himself into many sticky situations. His unique skill is Blame Me, which I'm hovering over on the right here, which I can't click on, so I don't know why I'm doing that. Anyway, his unique skill is Blame Me. It gives him +2 initiative, -1 defense, +1 more walk move, and +25% run multiplier when in a unit with a supercharger equipped. Honestly, he is amazing if you want to have a super fast pilot to do those recovery and rescue missions on his own. He can just dart in there, pick up the target, and get out of there so fast. Well worth looking after. Don't fire him like I did, otherwise there's not a lot you can do there. So, Dr. Janisar, he's our next one. What can we say about Janisar? He is a brilliant scientist, although very little is known about him. He comes with 2 special abilities, Square Peg Round Hole, which you will also find on one other pilot, and he's also got, what is his other one? He's got Stay a While and Listen. So, Square Peg Round Hole, this gives him +40 affinity to any chassis that he pilots. I mean, this essentially gives him those first 2 skills, plus a number of extra base skills, whatever mech he's sort of just shoved straight into. Really useful skill, especially early game. But his second skill, this makes him one of the most important pilots to have in your lance, in my opinion. As you can see, Stay a While and Listen reduces enemy initiative by 3. I mean, I can't stress how important that is. You know, that means you're going to take the initiative. Most of your troops will move first. Well worth having. I actually use Janisar in a battle armour, sitting at the back of the field most of the time, to be fair. Figgin. Now, Figgin, what can we say about Figgin? Back during the first season, he led the Jarn folk with Jarl and myself to achieve the greatest victory seen in an online season, fully controlling over 1/3 of the map and creating a new clan, Clan Lutefisk. Following a trial by combat in clan space, Figgin still terrifies his enemies, giving him the abilities of Clan Ascended and Gulag Warden. The first ability, Clan Ascended, gives him +5 cool shot, +2 offensive push accuracy, and +1 Mechtech, so very useful on its own. The second one, Gulag Warden, this is cool. It actually it makes it so that Op4 pilots have a +30% chance to eject. Yeah, you start overheating them, you start taking out components, they're just going to hit that button and get out of there if he's present. So next we've got High Khan Fiona Kerensky. What can we say about her? Well, High Khan of Clan Wolf and inherit of the Kerensky blood name. Her unique trait is not your typical Kerensky, giving her ability of multi-shot all the time, but she can also call in airstrikes, but at a cost. They are expensive to use, and her upkeep is increased by a massive 600%. 100%, making her the third most expensive pilot that you can hire. So who's next? Let's scroll down to the next group of pilots, and we've got Hero. Now Hero, he was the Federated Sun's longest serving and most memorable first prince. He gets 2 abilities, Last Successor Lord and the one that we've previously seen, the 3rd Star League Founder. So what does Last Successor Lord do? This ability is really, really good. It gives him the ability that all non-melee attacks are breaching. So, I mean, if you pile loads of weapons onto his mech, every single one of those weapons will fire as though breaching. So he can tear holes through anything. He's actually one of my favourite RTO pilots, and I've had him in every season that he's been available. Next, Yandru. Right, Yandru is a true diplomat of the Great Houses, and it's giving him the ability Diplomatic Immunity and High Spirits. So the former Diplomatic Immunity gives him physical immunity, making his mech, or any mech's vehicles, they are all tac immune. So that means you'll be able to resist any of the AP ammo that's shot at you. And his second skill, High Spirits, what does that do? That means that he can use his inspiration abilities more often. So you can do things like brace, you can use, I don't know, field command, whatever he's got, and they can be used far more frequently. So Jamie, the next of our RogueTech crew, we all know who Jamie is. He's in charge of the map. He's just, yeah, he's an immense person. But what about his character? So next to nothing is known about the elusive Jamie Rayson, other than he is true chaos. He has 3 unique abilities: RogueTech Crew, which we've seen before, Burning Chaos, and Code Monkey. So Burning Chaos, this is amazing. It basically has the same effect as having an FCS pyro on anything he pirates. What does that do, I hear you ask? Well, every single shot that Jamie makes applies +1 heat. I mean, literally every shot. If you have a machine gun that does, like, I don't know, 6 shots, that's instantly 6 heat from that one little machine gun. But on top of that, he also inflicts +15% heat damage to the target that he shoots. If you want a mech that can shut down anything, you get it piloted by Jamie. As for his second ability, Code Monkey, what does that do? This gives him +7 heat sinking, +1 evasion, and +0.5 Medtech. That's right, Medtech, not Mechtech. So he can keep your pilots alive better as well. He is an absolutely awesome pilot, and if you find him, well worth hiring. So now we're going to move on to Jarl. So Jarl was the 3rd member of the much-feared Jarnfolk Triad, raining destruction across the entire sphere, plus a purveyor of delicacies that make most mortals vomit or pass out, or both. The great Lutefisk. His abilities are Clan Ascended, that we've seen previously with Figgin, and Lutefisk launchers. Now what does Lutefisk launchers do? This is actually a really good ability if you want a pilot for artillery. It gives you -25% minimum, -50% maximum scatter, and so, as I said, absolutely perfect for artillery. Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's one of the newer RTOs, and there's a little bit more to Jelly that I'll get into in a second. So, Jelly Roll, also real name Sweeney Papavic. Jelly is one of the strangest mech warriors you're likely to meet. Running a galactic taco fast food company has its strange perks. The abilities for Jelly are Taco Time, which increases lance resolve by 20%. I mean, that's huge. And also Taco Truck Locomotion, which gives Jelly 20 affinity for all light mechs that Jelly pilots. Something else you should know about Jelly. This pilot is required should you wish to delve into the shadowy world of pirate enhancements for your Argo's drive. Just be warned, strange things happen when you strap pirate stuff to your Argo, but it's well worth having. You do have to enable that within the install options though, if you want to be able to access it includes I'm just trying to think what else it includes. It's the one based on Squid Game is included in there as well. So if you enable that lot, you can then use Jelly to get hold of pirate drive upgrades. So next, who have we got? We have got Khmer. Right, Khmer Trex is the daughter of Khmer Arano. She's the 4th most expensive pilot you can hire, but is vital to enhance your entire lance. I mean, this pilot is just incredible. Okay, not as a pilot herself, because as you can see, she's got very few skills, But her ability, Inspiring Presence, is a must-have. What does it do? Inspiring Presence gives her entire lance +1 lance resolve, +1 lance initiative, but most importantly, +1 lance accuracy. That's right. Every single unit that you drop with will have +1 accuracy. You just think how good that is, especially early game when you can't hit the side of a, well, literally can't hit the side of a building. However, it does come at a cost of +600% pilot upkeep, making her the 4th most expensive pilot you can hire. Right, so let's scroll down the list and see who we've got next. We have got Lady Electo. We all know who Lady Electo is. She's our lady and master of RogueTech. But few realise that she is actually... Oops, I've not clicked on her. Few realise that she's one of the most powerful Word of Blake operatives ever to grace the sphere. As with some of the other crew, she has 2 of their abilities. She's got, where are we, RogueTech crew, which we've seen before, and JSON Monkey, that we've also seen before. She also has her own special ability, Just Wanted Infernos. What does this do? This gives her +2 accuracy with SRMs. Yeah, that's okay, you say, but what else does it do? It allows her to call in fiery airstrikes, and boy do these things burn. You drop a fiery airstrike on things, they're likely to shut down. However, it's at a huge cost of 600% upkeep. This makes Lady Electo the 2nd most expensive pilot you can hire. So who's next? We've got Majorian. What can we say about Majorian? He is a ruthless dictator from the Marian hegemony. Majorian is rightly feared. His special ability is Nyangling Slayer. This increases the chance for enemies to eject by 10%, and yes, this does stack with Figgin's ability, so you can actually increase their chance to eject by a total of 40% with both. But it also reduces your own morale by -1. I mean, come on, who would really want to have a dictator on board their starship? So next, Mukduki. Right, what can we say about Mukduki? Mukduki is another member of the Kerensky bloodline. He was the Primus Heir Kerensky Vickers, one of Comstar's most well-known leaders. He's another 3rd Star League founder that we've seen before, and he also has the special ability First Lord. What does First Lord do? First Lord gives him -5 heat generated, +1 Mechtech, and +1 walk move point. I cannot stress how useful this is for slow mechs like Super Heavy. I mean, literally, +1 walk point is an extra hex of movement. Mr. Bubbles. Yes, interesting picture. Mr. Bubbles, right. Thought to be an extremely old and likely non-human character, no one has ever directly seen Mr. Bubbles, who remains sealed within his exosuit when in company. His special ability is Herald of Gifts. This gives him multi-target, +1 missile evasion, and +2 indirect accuracy. Really good if you want to have a specialist missile indirect mech or vehicle. Narf's one of my favourite little characters in the game. I wonder whose picture that is. Anyway, what can we say about Narf? Was he the greatest or worst pirate lord we've ever seen? Depending on your history books, it could be either. For an upkeep of an extra 200%, Narf has a special ability, Recruitment Thievery. This allows him to call in a hot drop for an extra battle mech once per turn. The battle mech will not be under your control, but you can drop it in front of yours and use it as a bit of a punch bag so that it takes some of the flak until it blows up, while the rest of your units move up behind and keep shooting. Okay, Uranus. Uranus, while he could have lived a life of luxury and privilege, Uranus instead has dedicated his life to helping others. He has the same square peg round hole that we saw as Janisar, so gets +40 affinity to all chassis he pilots, but he also has Compow Chicken. What does Compow Chicken do? This gives him +7.5% punch and kick damage, +2 punch attacks, and his melee hits always destabilise the target, so very useful for a melee pilot. Okay, scrolling down, we're on our last set of pilots. We've got another one of the crew, Plate Glass Armour. This is actually the most recently added pilot, which Plate Glass did himself. So what do we know about him? He's a wealthy and independent trader and self-made man. He shares the RogueTech Mechtech crew ability, but he also has a couple of additional traits with independent traders and contact negotiator. Now you'll notice contract negotiator isn't currently shown here, but it really does exist, as you can see when I hover over there. So contract negotiator gives him +5 Cbills when deployed to the battlefield, but at a cost of -1 health. His other ability, independent trader, is great. It reduces your salvage by 1 for 1 less random salvage, but you automatically get +100,000 Cbills when he's deployed. If you think a lot of your salvage can be cheap, I mean, you might have just picked up a single heat sink, for example. Instead, you could get 100,000 early on. Plate glass armor is a brilliant character to have to really help with your upkeep and earn you a lot of extra cash. Reaper is our next RTO. So Reaper was possibly the leader of the Rangers, a band of ruthless mercenaries who many claimed used underhand tactics to win their battles at all costs. He shares the Lil Khan of the Little Clan ability, which we've seen previously, and he's got a special 2 additional Hidden Hope Fulfilled and Ranger's Edge. So Hidden Hope Fulfilled, what this does, it gives him +0.5 clustering, -10% jam chance, and +1 initiative, whereas Ranger's Edge can really turn the tide of war. This gives him -6 heat generated, +1 more walk point, which, as I said earlier, if you've got a +1 walk point, that is fantastic for slow ones, especially super heavies, but it will also, online only, add +2 extra control gain for influence generator missions. I mean, that is a, if you're trying to push control gain, you've got Reaper on your side. That actually can make quite a difference when you think the cap is normally, around 30 this season, I think. So you could get 32 influence just by bringing him along. If you're at much lower level, normally you might generate, say, 3 or 4 influence. You could easily get another 50%, bring it up to 5 or 6. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling. Right, RogueBot 1. There are 2 RogueBots. These are the things that when you put a help ticket in, they automatically spam the ticket, and apparently they look like dogs with helmets on. So, the 2 RogueTech RogueBots both share the RogueTech crew ability. I'm starting to stumble over my words here. This isn't good. Right, let's carry on. Right, both share the RT crew ability, which we've seen before, and they also both have this new support wrangler ability. What support wrangler does is +1 walk points and +1 med tech. So again, really useful, especially on super heavies. Now, RogueBot 1, he also has an additional ability. Let's try this. This gives him +0.3 cluster for ballistic weapons, +5% cool shot accuracy, and +1 offensive push accuracy. So if we move over to RogueBot 2, as I was saying, they both share the RogueTech crew ability, and they both share the support wrangler. Now, RogueBot 2 also comes with Gonna Ticket That. As I say, when you open your tickets, it's these dogs that apparently spawn them. So this gives him +1 accuracy with arm-mounted weapons, +1 evasion ignore, and -1 recoil. Okay, penultimate pilot, and one of my favourites, Svelte. Now, I say one of my favourites. He is cursed. I mean, seriously cursed. He's like the bane of both allies and enemies alike. Be warned, if you drop with Svelte in your lance, be prepared to avoid his curse at all costs. On the other hand, his curse can literally have the enemy falling over themselves. What am I talking about? Svelte has the ability Accursed Actuation. What this does, it curses both the Op4 and all allied units, that's your own and any allied lancers that join you, so that they have, Op4 have a +3 chance to fall when they sprint or jump, whereas allies have a +2 chance to fall or sprint when they jump. You're thinking, well, that doesn't sound so bad, but actually, if you think normally your chance to fall when you've got a high piloting skill or reasonable piloting skill is pretty much 0 if you sprint or jump. With Accursed Actuators, even if you've got a completely intact mech with a fairly high piloting skill, you've got a fair chance of falling over. And I had this guy right at the beginning of this season, and there was actually one mission where every single mech on the opposing force fell over and was bleeding out by the end of turn 2. I mean, come on, that was fantastic for collecting some salvage. So yeah, Svelte is great. Just if you have him, don't sprint, don't jump. be really careful if you do, because chances are you're going to fall over. He has once made himself bleed out where I was forced to do a sprint, but he did survive, thankfully. And our final pilot of the day, or final pilot currently available in RTO and crew, is Takashi. Who is Takashi? Takashi was the coordinator of the Draconis Combine during their darkest hour, when they lost their entire great empire to the marauding Jarnfolk. That's right, Figgin and his band completely wiped them out, I'm afraid. But to be fair to Takashi, he really stood his ground. He fought back so hard. So what has he got? He's another 3rd Star League founder. And he's also known as the Terror of Atreus. So the Terror of Atreus gives him -5 minimum scatter, -10 maximum scatter, +1 ballistic accuracy, and -1 ballistic recoil. So very useful if you want another type of potentially, I don't know, an artillery pilot. So there we go. Anyway, I'm hoping you've all enjoyed this video. It has taken a long time for me to prepare, so hopefully it won't be quite as long before my next video. And as I said at the start, all of the unique abilities will be listed below this video in the text. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you all on the battlefield.